Welcome to the very first lesson in my Level 2 Performance and Technique course within my Beginner Piano course. In this lesson, we're going to learn J.S. Bach's Minuet in G. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to buy the Performance and Technique book, there's going to be a link to that in the description below. And I also offer online piano lessons. If you're looking for one, there's going to be links to that below too. So this piece is a very famous kind of beginner minuet, and the reason why I chose it in this collection as the first piece is because it's one of the most kind of approachable Baroque pieces from the Bach Anna Magdalena book, which is a collection dedicated to Anna Magdalena, and although we don't know for sure who composed it, it is often attributed to J.S. Bach. It's a great workout in G major. It has a very tuneful melody. In the original score, there were no dynamics marks and no articulation, so no slurs and no staccatos. So it's completely up to you how you want to add those in. In my performance, I think of the first and the third line as the chorus, so I kind of make that louder, and the second and fourth line I played quieter because for me that was more like a verse. Regarding the articulation, the general kind of rule is that shorter notes are going to be played legato and longer notes are going to be played detached. There's no need to play them staccato, but you can detach them. This is by no means the only way of playing it, but it's kind of a convention. So when I was playing the quavers, I was playing them nice and connected, but when I play those left-hand crotchets, I try to separate them. Regarding correlation, this piece goes really well with lesson 1, which is all about quavers, and lesson 4, which is all about the new G major scale. So whichever lesson you are in, or whichever you want to reinforce a little bit, this piece is going to go really well with it. So let's break it up. We are in the key of G major, so every single F is going to become F sharp. We are in 3/4 because minuets are in 3/4 in triple time, and we have to count 1 and 2 and 3 and. We've got mostly quavers and crotchets, or eighth notes and quarter notes, and the eighth notes, of course, are going to go twice as fast as the crotchets or quarter notes. Let's see the first line, because that repeats again in the third line, so bars 1 to 4. The right hand starts in this quite wide G major position, 1 under G, 2, 3, 5. It's an arpeggio or a broken chord. It's not an arpeggio because we don't do a thumb crossing, but it's a broken chord. So we're going to start like this: 1 and 2 and 1 on the A, 3, F sharp, 1 and 2 and 3 and then we jump down an octave. Now we have this repeated G here, which you can play with the thumb both times, but if you want to make it more elegant, you can change the finger on 1, 2. So once again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that was our first phrase, and I separated those crotchets. You can also go ti 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 ta ta ta, whichever works for you. Second phrase is the exact same. And that's the first line right hand. So very important when you do this broken chord or arpeggio, whatever we call it, we're going to really connect, and we're going to do a wrist circle. So the hand is going to follow the melody. We don't keep it static and try to reach it like that. We go. So my hand is moving horizontally with the notes, so I can comfortably play those notes without stretching too much and keeping the wrist very stiff. And then we put the 1, 4 and 5, 1, 1. Left hand first line is G, number 1, 1, 2, 3, and here is our broken chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So it's just using the G major chord notes, G, B, D. And again, when you have the quavers, you can connect them nicely. Here you've got two options, 5, 3, 2 or 5, 4, 2, whichever is more comfortable for you. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. And as you could see again, I was separating the minims from the crotchets, so the longer notes. Hands together, very accurately going down. And that's the first line. So going really slowly, making sure you hold down whichever note has to be held down, going very evenly, and the legato in the quavers stays there when the left hand is lifting up. Again, articulation is just a suggestion. You don't have to go with what I'm showing here, but traditionally that's the easiest way to go with it. Second line, right hand, number 3 on the high E, and we have a nice sequence here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and putting 5 on the D, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Left hand starts on the C and it's going to be a bit stretchier here, but it's just the G stays on top, but the bottom note moves down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, F sharp, G. And here we've got quavers, D, F sharp. And we get back to the third line, which is the same as the first. So let's put it together. Now here we separate or detach those crotchets. Changing to 5 and 2. And hold down the A. Third line, same as the first. Now the last line is going to start 5 on the E with the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. So another sequence here. E and then D repeating the same melody. Left hand starting on the C, number 3. E, G, B, D, G. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So first we've got a C major chord, then a G major chord, then we move to the dominant, the D major chord, and finishing on a G broken chord. Hands together. And at the end, we've got a repeat sign, so the whole piece has to be played twice. There is a second section to this piece, but I thought this should be enough as an introduction to this volume. At the end, you can slow down a little bit. It's quite okay to slow down towards the end of the piece or a bigger cadence, but you would do that only at the second time. So the first time when you get to the end of the piece, you carry on in the same speed back to the start, repeat again, and at the end, you're going to slow down. So I hope this gave you a little bit of insight for how to approach this piece, how to approach dynamics, how to approach articulation and the rhythm and the wrist. So of course, don't forget that when it comes to the broken chords of the G major broken chords. And as I said, I wanted to stay very close to the original score without adding my own articulation or dynamics. So feel free to let your creativity take on. If you struggle to come up with your own, then go with the guidance I provided in this video.